Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO Network. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is D of FTO Nerd Talk. I sound a little bit more enthusiastic than usual. That's because I'm doing an episode. I didn't think I was going to do an episode today, or at all, for a while. So I was going to take myself a little hiatus. My kids are out of school. I'm working multiple jobs. I'm always busy. If I'm not busy, I'm sleeping. I'm literally outside my gym right now. After this podcast, I gotta go at least walk. I'm not gonna lift any weights. I'm taking a break from weights. A break from lifting weights, from squatting weights, from lunging weights, all of it. Weights. I'm taking a break from you because I need a break. So taking a break from all that. Taking a break from all the rigmarole of that, and just gonna go walking and clear my head and listen to some politics podcasts like I always do. But the good news is I have news. It's a good amount of news this week. The way I do my news, if you guys don't know my process, or if you haven't seen how I do my process, is I post 1 or 2 articles a day on all my platforms, mostly Instagram and Facebook, but I post everywhere else also, and sometimes I lap myself. I go to a week span of news that I gather, and this time I lap myself. So you got a good amount of news to listen to this week. And the first bit of news is that Harley Quinn revealed their 10 episodes of the season. I'm not gonna call out all the 10 episodes of the season, but I will look up when season 3 premieres, because I completely forgot when that comes back. It has to be sometime soon, because they have all the episodes out. So, and if you don't know where Harley Quinn is being promoted or played, it is currently HBO Max is where it is. Oh, it looks like it comes out July 28th. In a couple weeks. Hell yeah. It's been I think it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years since we saw Harley Quinn. COVID really messed that show up, so we had to take a break from watching it. But it's 10 episodes this season. Most animated shows now 10 episodes, 10 to maybe 12 episodes a season. Disappointing. I do miss a 20 episode run of a TV show. I know Futurama's coming back. They're probably give us 13 episodes of that show coming back. And it's not a bad thing to get 13 episodes, but growing up in that era, I'm in my 40s getting to, and not 40 yet. Jeez, I just put my foot in my mouth for that one. But I'm getting to that point, and I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, man, and having 22 episodes to go back to and rewatch was blissful. Talk about escapism. But I know animation is expensive, and I know it's hard to produce all that kind of work, and it get kind of tiresome to do it constantly, so they give us mid-season, first season 13, second season 13. We spush them together. You got yourself one whole episode, one whole season, which is actually technically not 2 seasons, but it's whatever, I guess. As long as Harley Quinn comes back with a good pace and it's a good season, because some of these episodes really caught my eye. It's a Swamp Thing. It's episode 5. Episode 3 is the 83rd annual Villy Awards. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want to figure it out. So, and that's your one swear of the show. So there's that. Next up, we got game news. Is God of War developers share eerie concept art for its undead, and this art is really good. If you guys haven't played God of War, there's tons of mythological creatures and characters you gotta fight in the game, because you're playing as Kratos, and he has a battle axe now. It's so the Blades of Chaos, which are chains that are wrapped around his arm. The character dynamic has changed to more of a from Greek to Norse themed, which is very eerily similar to Assassin's Creed, if you ask me. They're just taking a template from Assassin's Creed and just slapping it on God of War. But that's whatever. You know what? It doesn't even matter. As long as you're having fun with the game, you learn a little bit about different cultures. It's not really the real takeaway of any good story. So It doesn't. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But the art is good. It's pretty spectacular. The only downside for me is, like, it's not going to look this way in the game. It's going to be like a whole different kind of vibe. But it is a PS5. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll just like the concept art. It's mostly just undead creatures. Like, they're all undead. I didn't realize that Freya has such like a big theme of God of War or Norse lore or antagonists. I don't know. But like all we got like are undead creatures, which is cool. I guess I was just expecting more creatures. It's whatever. Chris Hemsworth joined Mad Max prequel Furiosa as a warlord Dementus. He's like a big red beard. It looks pretty cool. Apparently, like, Furiosa is getting recasted also. Someone who's younger. Not being played by Theron. I don't know how I feel about, like, a prequel to this story. Because, like, you know, the way her story starts out, like, we don't really get to see her hanging out with, Victus Joe. Which I gotta say, I don't understand women playing characters, like cosplaying characters like that. I don't understand that whole thing. But you know what? It's whatever. I guess it's not my business to talk about, but it freaks me out. But yeah, you get to see Hemsworth. He's doing like a lot of work. I think he just did was it Spider Island or Spiderhead, the trippy mine movie with Miles Teller. So Hemsworth getting work. Got a Thor. Got a Thunder movie coming out, which is, I would probably say it's more Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman's film than it is, say, you know, Hemsworth. But it's whatever. Hemsworth is working. And a lot of us like Hemsworth. He's like one of the good Chris's. As my wife likes to say, the good Chris. Because we all know who the bad Chris is. He is currently saving himself by outing the church that Elliot Page said it was anti-LGBTQ church, and trying to backpedal that because you all know the Guardians of the Galaxy movie's coming out. Pratt's going to be in this movie. The Jurassic World movie did not do very well. So people are starting to like they pick up on like, hey, Chris Pratt, it's a bad Chris. And I'm not going to see a movie with a bad Chris in it. Because Mario's coming up, and they're not going to biff that. Can't happen. Chucky Season 2 has Lashlyn Watson attached as twins Glenn and Glenda. If you guys are not familiar with Watson was a part of the Sabrina show. I forget what character they played inside that show, but yeah. Lashlyn Watson is going to be a part of like the Chucky series. Going to be dolls. Going to be doing voices of both characters. This is interesting. We get to see a lot more representation of the LGBTQ community in things other than like primarily characters who are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. Like, so seeing this is interesting to me. Like, I'm really interested in seeing how this is gonna play out in a horror capacity, and like, going to be dual characters. That's interesting to me. Like, that's a performance. So I really want to see like how Watson attached like to this role, because it has to be a way like they're going to approach this that leaving a mark is going to be very fundamental. Like, that's a little bit of reason why I want to see the third season of Umbrella Academy, because I really want to see how Victor is portrayed by Elliot Page inside this series, because I'm pretty sure there has to be a way that Elliot is going to tackle this role, considering that like, the role is specifically made to transition the character from female to male. And like, I want to see how that's going to play out, because I feel like it has to be something that is quintessential to the character and to Page himself. So it has to be pretty impressive as is. TV news, Prime Video, 8 Billion Genies comic to be adapted into a franchise at Amazon Studios. I am not that familiar with the story. I've seen it in passing a few times, but like actually going at it and reading it, you guys know I don't really read a lot of indie comic books anymore. It used to be like the thing for me in the 2000s and the 90s, but like after a while I got burnt, and perhaps like that's more on me for getting burnt out, because like when you start reading out comic books and like they get canceled after every 5th or 3rd issue, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth for reading indie comic books. And like you get like some like stability with, say, DC or Marvel. It's kind of hard, like, like to just keep trying new things like that over and over again. Not to say that like I don't like indie comic books or that some indie comic books aren't good or have merit. I'm not saying that. Like, this show is probably gonna be pretty awesome. I have heard the name of 8 Billion Genies. I have seen it on shows. I've seen like in the magazines. I've seen like in like the comic book community. It's just I haven't like read it myself. So it should be interesting. It's on Amazon. Amazon has like not been letting us down with comic book properties. With say Invincible, The Boys. We also got Ring of Power, which is like a part of the Lord of the Rings franchise coming out. I mean, come on, like there's no real negative with Amazon's videos besides Chris Pratt being a part of it, and of course Jeff Bezos. So you can't win them all. But next up is Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder Justice League gets digital release date, and the date is July 19th. Next story, and it doesn't matter to me. I don't know why I picked that to put it out there. Probably like more for the Snyder Bros. Not all Snyder fans are bad, and like I am biased because, as most of you know, Yo a Nerd Justice is like a big Snyder fan. For whatever reason, he's a Snyder fan, but he's a Snyder fan. Like, I respect Justice in his opinion when it comes, like, to the comic book world and, like, to some superhero nerdoms. Like, I respect that, but the Justice League movie was good. As I said previously, the Justice League movie was good. I liked it. I could have watched it a few more times, even if it is, like, 4 hours long. God, even saying it out loud, it just sounds painful. But, it's a good movie. Batman vs. Superman, not as much. I thought that was a weak film. Man of Steel had its merits, but Justice League was fantastic. Like, the Whedon cut, abysmal. Really was. But the Justice League film, good. For those of who want this, there's like some special footage along with the digital release. So if you are a big Snyder fan, I would say check this out. It's up your alley. But July 19th, I think like 2 weeks away. So there you go. I think the date of this recording is July 7th. So yeah. Dune Part 2 release delayed to November 2023. Apparently they want a Thanksgiving release. I don't know why they want a Thanksgiving release as opposed to a Christmas release. Something big must be coming out Christmas of next year. I don't know what that thing is. It'll probably be a comic book film. Maybe a book adaptation. I don't know. It makes you kind of want to look it up and see what's coming out 2023. But Dune, I still haven't watched Doomed. So, and like I know I put a ED in that Dune, like Sand Dune. I know the story. I've seen other adaptations of it. I've seen like the adaptation on the Sci-Fi Channel. I've seen like the original film. Haven't read Frank Herbert's story. Like, I get it. Like, a friend of mine, Jennifer, of comic books will break your heart, is probably screaming at me right now. What? You haven't read it? Yeah, I know. And I get, like, the allegory that, like, it's all about, like, a political spectrum of capitalism getting overrun and, like, an oppression of resources amongst, like, the citizens or the people who need it. I get the allegory. I get, like, Frank Herbert's story. And, like, what it's supposed to mean. I got it. But I just haven't gotten around to reading it. Like, I know, like, there's audiobooks. Maybe if I get, like, my local library app and, like, can download some books. But I haven't gotten around to it. So, someday, maybe. And if I'm being, like, completely honest, the story intimidated me quite a bit. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it intimidated me a lot. A lot. It's massive. You seen those books? Those Frank Herbert books are big, man. Like big. So yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at myself for not reading the Frank Herbert story. Frank Herbert should be mad at me. Is Frank Herbert still alive? I don't think he is. Let's move on. Godzilla vs. Kong sequel gets March 15th, 2024 release date. That's a while. Like, why even bring that up? Like, I get, like, you know, you want to hype people, like, hey, we're still making these movies, even though it took us about 15 years to make the first movie, even though, like, it was supposed to come out 10 years before all that hype we were bringing out there. Like, I get that. They want to keep hyping up their audience for this MonsterVerse they're doing with Universal. I get it. I just don't get why. Tell us about this date that is 2 years away in March. Doing, like, a election year? I don't know. Like, the world's going to a dumpster fire, and, like, you want to hype us up for a movie during an election year in March after, or probably during, like, the tail end of COVID. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a bad idea. It just seems like a bad time, like, to tell us about this movie that's coming out in March. In March? Look, man, I get it. Deadpool did great in February, and, like, a lot of places, like, hey, you know what? Deadpool did great in February. Made, like, $1 billion. It was a rated R film. We should keep on trying that. I get it. I understand that. I really do. Just, I don't know. It seems like a little too much. It seems like they could have waited a year to tell us about this, for one. And if you're going to give us a release date, at least give us, like, a still or a movie poster. Or at least tell us who the damn bad guy is going to be inside of it. Come on. Give us something. Hopefully next year they tell us. Ashley Thomas to star opposite Adrian Warren in Hulu's Black Cake. Apparently this is an Oprah book deal situation. And good news for Oprah getting one of her like book club stories on Hulu and not owned. That is a sign of success in my eyes. If you have a company that promotes and deals out in like film, but another company that is very big and major wants to buy one of your stories or programs that you don't want to put on your own channel, that's a sign of success in my eyes. Like, that's pretty impressive. Like, majority black written story, but it can put on Hulu. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Like, so good on Oprah. Her company is taking off. All Rise is getting like a new season on there. For those of you who were wondering, All Rise is going to be a part of OWN. Who knew? Some people told me about it. I didn't really listen to it too closely. That's on me. That's my bad. Next up is going to be Lionsgate wins the right to adapt upcoming Yaw book, Thieves Gambit, with Steve Caple Jr. to direct. I know nothing about this story, Steve's Gambit. And Thieves, not Steve's. I thought about looking into it, but I told myself if I did, even for regular synopsis, I'd probably be annoyed if that's what I want it to be. I think it's about a group of thieves and a heist story essentially. But Caple Jr. doing this, the same dude who did Creed 2, so that's not bad. I think the Creed movies are fun. Like it's Rocky, but with Creed, like his son, and that's interesting to me. I'm still waiting for. I haven't seen the second Creed movie. I've seen like parts of it. I haven't seen all of it, but I'm still waiting for Apollo to come back in a flashback. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see that. It sounds pretty awesome. I know it's not like his story. I get like his Amadeus's story. I got it, but like, it sounds pretty cool. Sounds like just to give me that. Give me a flashback. I know that story doesn't lend itself to that, but I'll take it. Time travel, multiverse, flashbacks. Can't go wrong. You just can't. Next up is this is where I want to get like the hate mail. I can feel it. This is where we get like the texts and the DMs. Raphael Sadiq tapped as executive music producer of Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now, if I pronounce the musician's name, who I just said incorrectly, I do greatly apologize. Because I know I see his name a lot, but I haven't heard it pronounced towards me. So, yeah, that's going to be me. Like, I take full blame for that. So, my blackness needs to get itself a little upgrade to fix that problem. But Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is getting a show, and that's cool. I'm pretty sure all the kids out there like who are big MCU fans are going to be talking about this. I really hope Twitter blows this up. Of all places that gets this blown up, considering that like the Woman King just dropped a trailer. I hope Twitter blows up Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Like, I want to see that being popularized on Twitter, especially Black Twitter. Because, like, as much as so many people on Black Twitter talk about Black Girl Magic, like, want to see more representation, want to see more Black superheroes, all that, I really hope Twitter really props it up, makes it a thing. I want to see some cosplay. Like, this is just things like I would just love to see. Not telling anyone to do this. It just sounds like it just sounds like it's gonna be like the wave of the future, man. I see so many dads dressed up as Devil Dinosaur. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time just to see this. So hopefully, like, everything pans out the way we all want it to. MCU or Marvel has itself like a brand new poster child, along with Khan, along with Moon Knight and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and all these other characters like Loki and Scarlet Witch that people are fawning over. Like, hopefully we get like that same kind of energy with this story also. So that's what I want to see. And the last story I have in my collection, because I'm going to head over to Fukunami, because Fukunami's been going nuts with their work of late on their page, just posting story after story. And I'm here for it. So we're going to take a little trip over to Fukunami and see what they've been talking about for the past week, because they got me beat when it comes to articles, and I appreciate that. So thanks for the work, guys. Rihanna is officially America's youngest self-made billionaire. Wow. Good. I think $1.4 billion she has acquired for herself right now. As most of you know, I'm anti-corporation, anti-capitalist. I don't really care for money. It's not really my thing. But she did this on her own. Not just with her music, but with her brands of different assortments, from like makeup to modeling to her wear, Fenty. Like, she's incredible. So kudos to you. And she's pregnant when she obtained this. That's got to be like 2 records. Like, seriously, 2 records she had to broken. Being the youngest and being pregnant while she's doing it. Like, congrats to her. Like big congrats to Rihanna. So, like, if you don't like her, keep that mess to yourself. Don't ever need to hear that. But good on you, Rihanna. Like, that's awesome. Whew. All right, take a little trip to Fukunami Lane and see what Fukuname is talking about. See how I said that without saying it? Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's see if I'll go back as far as I can. This is from June 27th. EA reportedly working on a new Marvel game. See, that's why I like rumors. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? This is a rumor. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection announced for the Nintendo Switch. I've never been a big fan of the Mega Man games. Like, not that I wouldn't play them, but like that's not 100% accurate. I do like Mega Man games. I guess I just wanted more. I wanted more of a Transformers feel from my Mega Man games. Like, if they can blend a Transformers or MechTech aspect along with a Zelda feel and drop in some Samus inside there as well, like some Metroid Prime with my Mega Man. I feel like that would be a whole new wave of Mega Manning that I can get a part of. Because as of right now, Mega Man's not really doing it for me. But it has been like about 10 years since I played a Mega Man game, so maybe like this one is the way to go. So, you know, maybe this Battle Network could be something to get attached to. But, like, you know, most of us know that Mega Man is essentially Astro Boy. I mean, if you really strip everything away, he's Astro Boy. So, I like Astro Boy. I think it's cool. Mega Man can't fly, unlike Astro Boy, but I don't know. Just something about it just doesn't give me like the feel good vibes to play any Mega Man games. Maybe they aged him up. I think they did that with X, Mega Man X. I don't know. I need to get more in games, I suppose. But games doesn't really like draw itself towards me like it used to. Not because of toxic. Not because of toxicity. Isn't that weird? Not because of toxicity. Nintendo reportedly releasing Metroid Prime remastered this holiday season. So, like, again, like, it says it's a rumor, but it also says confirmed. So, I mean, I guess I want to see Metroid remastered again. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't. It's non-consequential. That's how I see it. It's non-consequential. Like, all right. Like, it's like old game you want me to play again. I guess. It's not like they're testing the waters. It's like, it's a fandom still into Metroid. Should we make a new game? Can we make some money like to fund the new game with releasing the old game? I don't know. Like, I'm not like trying to knock their business practice. Like, there are still fans who are big proponents of Mega Man and Metroid. Just like, I'm not the person like they should be bringing it to. It came with a mobile game like this, which they probably have. I just haven't looked into it. I'd probably be more inclined, but like, I don't think like a mobile game could give me the satisfaction to play this on a console, which I have. I have a Switch. Just, I don't know. Bleach 10,000 Year Blood War releases in October. About time. About time. I told myself I wasn't going to cry about this, but this is good news. Welcome back, Bleach. I haven't finished the original series. I can't get too excited. And I even like skipped out the fillers, but like, whew, those episodes are dense. But it's good that it's coming back. Like, the fans get to get their old feelings resolved. You get an actual ending to the story. Because I was told the story didn't really end. To my understanding, the story didn't really actually end. It just stopped. So to actually probably get like an ending to this story, yes. So good for us. Good for us anime fans. We got our first look at Namor from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I don't hate it. Like, when I found out that Namor was going to be Latinx, like, he has an Aztec thing to him. Yeah. It looks like it all makes sense. It fits. It's very MCU. So, my only concern is giving Namor to Black Panther as opposed to him being a Fantastic Four villain. But since they are going to give us, what's the dude's name from The Office and Jack Reacher? It's escaping me. John something. But he's going to be Mr. Fantastic again. So like he's like a part of the MCU. So we're going to see him. So hopefully we'll see Reed Richards in the Black Panther movie. That's my guess. I honestly think we're going to see him in the Black Panther movie. So, yes, Black Panther, the first one, didn't need any cameos, but, like, maybe the sequel does. We'll see what happens. Solo leveling anime coming in 2023. I'm not familiar with this. Like, at all. Solo leveling. Yeah, I'm not. This is something I gotta look into. If you guys know anything about this, let me know. This is where my level. I'm gonna have to run through these because this is where my expertise goes a little dry. One Piece Odyssey set for 2022. No real date, just 2022. So it comes out this year, and it's One Piece Odyssey. That's that. Rockstar Games may not release GTA 6 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Nope. May not release GTA 4 and Red Redemption 2 remastered. That doesn't feel like news to me. Like, okay, they may not give us these games. I didn't need to know that. So, no knock to Fukunami. If the gaming community thinks this is something that should be prevalent, I get it. But for me, I don't even know if something's not going to come out. Like, you could have just kept that to yourself, man. Unless everyone was talking about it. Are people talking about this? I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. I haven't been into gaming and gaming, like hardcore. Whew. How old is my middle child? Turning 6 soon. So 6 years I've been into gaming hardcore. So God of War Ragnarok has an official release date. November 9th. If you're clapping right now, good. Because I know what I just said about video games. But it's God of War. You gotta dust yourself off. Make yourself but straighten out your hat, man. Put your clothes on right. It's God of War. Make yourself presentable for God of War. I I haven't felt this happy about something until I heard about Trigons coming back, series-wise. Like, that was my thing, man. In the 2000s, Trigon and God of War. Like, that was me. Like, eating bad chips, drinking Mountain Dew and other bad sodas, and just playing video games and watching Trigon. That was the go-to. Watching those original anime videos of music editings. That was a big thing back in the 2000s, back in the MySpace days. Now, like, not everyone's doing it. They call them edits now. But, yeah. Good times. We do have comics and TV shows and games of the week. Mr. Malcolm's List, Lightyear, Yurikill, the Culmination Games. It's on the Switch. Trigger Point Season 1, Westworld Season 4, Loot Season 1, and The Umbrella Academy. And comic-wise for the week, we have Batman 125, which is like a whole new like look and feel for Batman. Excuse me, he's still poor, or, you know, he's a millionaire, not a billionaire. Poor. I can't believe I said those words out loud. Like, no, that's not poor. He's just not as wealthy as he once was. But he's still doing his old Batman thing. Dark Crisis, issue number 2, which I need to catch my ass up. Like, I'm almost into Infinite Frontier. It means like I'm like a year and a half away from Dark Crisis. I need to catch myself up, read Dark Crisis, because it's all about Nightwing is trying to get dethroned and possibly killed inside of all this. The Justice League is dead right now. And the new League, Fox, Yara Flor, Jonathan Kent are taking the mantles. They are stepping up. We get to see Future State possibly be inducted. It's honestly, if you've been following DC comic books since like the 90s and you read Kingdom Come and you started to see everything that happens in Kingdom Come start to happen in the comic book world, that's what this is. Like, let's just call it what it is. Everything that we saw in Future State is now taking place right now during Dark Crisis. Like we get to see that world mirror and ripple itself into the comic book world into continuity, but all the problems that we saw in Future State is going to get omitted. It was like a template or a blueprint, as like the center fans like to say, of what we were going to be seeing pretty soon in the comic book world. So there's that. Flashpoint Beyond, issue number 3. Superman comes back. The Flashpoint Superman, so the malnutrition Superman, is back. Looks like a show. Looks like a fun time. I mean, the cover is illuminated and very bright and pretty, but I don't think good things can be happening inside this comic book. And like from what I've been hearing to the grapevine, Flashpoint Beyond is a good run. So, Strange Academy, issue number 18. This is the last issue of that run. If you haven't been reading Strange Academy, this is it. It's the last one. Brother Voodoo got his own team. Legion of X, issue number 3. This looks like a fun romp. Like a fun X-Men comic. And Black Panther number 7 has a cover from Alex Ross attached to it. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. At least I don't think you can. And lastly, Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, issue number 2. They're really running full steam ahead with Nubia. Fans really like her. I like her. I think she's a good replacement for Hippolyta. They got Hippolyta doing like her own thing. I think she's just behind the scenes, off in some random dimension or whatever, while like Nubia's taking over. Diana's still doing her thing. I think like she was missing for a while, but now she's back. But she's also doing her thing, and she accepts Nubia as queen. It's a whole transition of power that like fans just seems to be accepting and being okay with. But that whole thing's going on with her being queen of the Amazon. So like it's a fun, man. It's all fun. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Whew. Make sure you check out FTO Nerd Talk. Wherever you find FTO Nerd Talk. It's not the same everywhere. Just so you know. It used to be. The same thing on all platforms. I used to take one thing and just blast it everywhere. But I couldn't sustain that for over 2 years. 2 years I did it straight. It's like, you know what? I can't do this. This is too much pressure. So I gotta do whatever random thing I want to do on different platforms. And that's what I've been doing. So if you are on my Twitter, it is not at all like my Instagram. If you're on my Instagram, it is very different than my Vero, which I'm active on. So make sure you check them all out. Make sure you have some fun. Check out the YouTube, because whatever you see on YouTube, you will not see on Twitter. Just so you know. Just, like I said, can't sustain it, so not doing it. Just what it is. Hate to be so blunt, but it's got to be that way. I hope you guys are enjoying my Instagram story. I use Instagram story as a way to promote other creators and keep you informed. Not to say doom scroll, but to give you like an insight of the world and like how things are around us right now. Because like the world is a dark and bleak place at times, and it can be a little hard to ingest or digest. And a lot of us see nerdom as an escape, myself included. But I am a proponent of saying to myself, like, you can't completely escape the world if you don't accept the bad things that are happening inside of it. Like, if you're just like living in escapism, what are you really escaping from? You know what I mean? Like, if you're just like endowing yourself in video games and cartoon shows and TV shows and movies and comics and like all that stuff, and like you never once pay attention to what's happening in the real world or have an opinion, or, you know, as fact-based as this may sound to you, to pick a side, then what's the point of escaping? Like, what are you really escaping from? Like yourself? Like your own problems? We all have problems. That is not to be dismissive, but we all see the world. We all know what happens here. We all have baggage. And like, none of that's going to get any better if we escape forever or neglect what the world is trying to tell us. So, like, I think you gotta take it all in. I'm not want to tell you like how you should do that, but I do think we all have to partake and understand what the world is showing us, how we should, like, you know, perceive it. I guess like should perceive is not the best way to put it, but like that we should in fact perceive what is happening to us and make up our minds about it. Whether we agree with you or not. But like, here's the cool part about that. If we don't agree with you, we know our boundaries. That's what boundaries are for. Like, you make up your mind. And you make up your mind to not be around that person. Or to set your limits with that person. Like, that person says a lot of bigoted stuff. And instead of like policing them all the time, which is going to get me nowhere, I'm going to omit myself from this person as much as I possibly can. So, I don't live with them. And I don't see them at only X amount of times. And if it gets too bad, I can just completely cut myself off from that person. So, that's my little therapy corner for this episode. I didn't mean to get so in-depth with that. But that is like one of the focal points of my thinking. Is thinking about things like that. And I do know that some people do listen to this podcast outside of like the news and like my opinions about that. But yeah, the world is like getting fucking just crazy, man. Supreme Court doing like a lot of weird stuff. Like we're all trying to just keep ourselves afloat. Inflation's a hell of a thing. The schools are talking about like involuntary workers. What the hell? For slavery? Are you kidding me, Texas? Texas and Florida are losing their minds. Like going ravage right now. Like they're on like the tail end of their comprehension and understanding of empathy. That is what's happening. Like I'm tired of like calling like these individuals who are trying to steal democracy unintelligent, because it's getting me nowhere. It's getting us nowhere. But their lack of empathy is getting insane. Like, and like it is pouring out everywhere. And again, like how can you live in escapism if you don't accept that? This isn't like, you know, an opinion that I'm having. This is just like, this is how it is. This is like the world that we live in. It's like that. And that's the way it is. I'm the Lorax now, apparently. But see, that's the escape. Like, I'm talking about it, but like I can make a joke about it because like I'm in it. That's why we watch stand up late night, like Trevor Noah or Stephen Colbert. Like that's why we watch shows like that. Like we get to see them talk about this, but they can make jokes. We can accept those jokes or not accept those jokes. But like, you know, at least some people like also have to see it and make jokes about it. That's why I listen to news every day. Like, cause like if you can listen to this stuff and like regurgitate that to explain to people what's happening and like, you know, still try to be as functioning and as like, you know, empathetic and apathetic to people at the same time, like I should be able to try to do the same thing also. And that's a real whole point about being human, is to keep on trying. So at least I think so. I think the meaning of life is to live. And as black people or people of color or women for that matter, it's not easy doing that. Especially considering that most women in a majority of states now have less rights than guns. And again, this isn't political, it's just fact. So, if you guys follow me for a while, you know that I say or have said that like everything is political. Like that has not been more true than it is right now. And like I know like that dirtbag Trump said the same thing also. And like I it bothers me that like he shares a philosophy with me because everything is political. Like whether we want to see it or not, like everything is like you can see like you're escaping from something. I see people who have podcasts or YouTube videos or Instagram like segments every so often. It's like, yeah, man. Like, hey guys, welcome up, dude. Hey, bro, how's it going? Welcome back to my podcast, my show, all that stuff. And like, it's like we just want to talk about some stuff, be fun, have a good time, not talk about like, you know, heavy stuff. Just keep it light and fun. Talk about like, some cool nerdy stuff, you know, the stuff that we love. Not get all political and whatnot. But I say to myself, like, if you're talking about Lord of the Rings, that is like heavy in politics, like very like Judeo-Christian politics of that. If you're talking about Harry Potter, like that has like pseudo like fascist politics along with like the LGBT anti politics from like the J.K. Rowling, the creator. Like there's politics in everything, in all of it. Like bar none, like hands down. Even like God of War, one of my favorite creations is like his Kratos literally fighting for a murderous god warlord. He goes too far, kills his family, wears their ash on his body forever, gets angry about that because he is the fascist, and then fights the other fascists who told him to go off and kill people. Like that is politics. That is politics. But I'm going on a rant now. That's just, you know, open your heads, man. Open your eyes. Open your heads is offensive. Open your eyes. Like I can say woke, but like, and I'm a black, so I can say woke. Like, be woke. Wake yourselves up. Shatter that glass. Let the world like take you in, and like you take in it, because you can't live life unless you live it. You can't. And like not living and surviving is not living. And living is not surviving. Like those are not the same thing. They're not mutually exclusive. Those are like flat out not the same thing. So live. Don't survive. Live. I'm D, FTO Nerd Talk. You guys have a good one. Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.